everybody, this is Danny from Deepsouth Homestead again on porch time this morning. Yes, another cold morning. Sitting out here this morning at 34 degrees. Okay, nice and cold, partly cloudy skies. I'm really concerned about all of our fruit this year. All of our fruit trees mostly are blooming out. I already have small berries on some of my trees. The peach blooms are all out. The only thing, the pears hadn't bloomed out yet. That's kind of amazing. The apples hadn't bloomed, but everything else is. Blueberries, huckleberries, apricots, all this stuff is bloomed out. And next week is supposed to be in the low 30s all week long. So, guys, let's just hope that everything makes it. That's just part of the grand solar minimum. When the cold comes, it comes to stay. We get these Indian summer days, I call them, warms up, and as soon as it warms up, everything pops all of a sudden because our fruit trees are not designed for long chill hours. And when we've had as much cold as we've had this year, then a couple of warm days, boom, they're out producing, and then it's cold again. I'm looking at my azaleas. They're all bloomed out, beautiful pink. You'll probably see some of them in our greenhouse videos. As I'm putting some together in the background, you'll probably see a few. But that's neither here nor there right now. I got a lot to do today, so we're going to shoot porch time right quick this morning and get back to work on the greenhouse. We're actually slicing bacon again. So much to do, guys, to get ready for what's coming. But today, something that's been bothering me for a while I want to talk about. I'm struggling with something. I don't know if I can trust her anymore. I guess if today would have a title, that would be it. Can I trust her anymore? Trust with me is one of those things that's it's kind of a big deal. I've been on the other side of broken trust, and it's sometimes you never get over it. It makes a different person out of you. When you're younger and you're coming up, and until you're really burnt hard one time, you just trust. You have the trust of a child. You tell a child to get up on a high ledge, jump, I'll catch you. They're like, yes, and they just jump, and and the older you get burnt, and trust kind of goes out the window. And I've been burnt several times, and I just don't know if I can trust her anymore. This is something that I'm struggling with big time. It's one of those things that, to me, trust is one of those things that it can't be just given. It has to be earned. And if you do something to break that, then there's this period of time. Some people it's a lot longer than it is with other people. There's that proving time. You got to prove yourself. You got to prove that you can be trusted again. Like when you're a teenager and your parents trust you at home for the first time, or they trust you to go out on a date for the first time, and you go out and you screw it all up, and you get in later than what they told you, or you do something around home you wasn't supposed to do whenever they told you not to do it, and they come home and you've done it, and you broke that trust. Then you've got to, you don't get as much freedom as you had anymore. You got to earn that trust again. And, like I said, for some people, it's a lot longer and it's a lot harder than it is for other people. And I'm one of these kind that I think that it's a big issue with me right now as to whether or not I'll ever be able to trust her again. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to be kind of blunt and honest. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to trust her again. She's let me down. I stood for her. I stood beside her. I've stood in the gap for her. There's different things I've done for her. And in spite of all that, I've financially backed her. I've done all these things for her. And yet, she basically has sold me out. And for that, I'm disheartened. I still love her. I have to say that. I still love her. But I'm very disheartened. And guys, the her that I'm talking about today is America. You know, as a kid growing up, things are a lot different now than it was back when I was a child. We went to school. The first thing we did, we gathered in a huge auditorium. And we sang patriotic hymns. We opened with a word of prayer before school ever began that day. That was the norm back then. And then all of a sudden, patriotism went by the side. No more singing about the country. No more opening with prayer. We just got to school, you just went straight to your classes. Then there was segregation. All the problems that went along with that. They just left us alone. We were all doing so good. You know, they tried to force an agenda on us, made us choose sides and become racists and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I grew up with all races of people. I didn't see any color. Everybody played with everybody. Everybody worked together. Everybody was happy. But no, she had to come in and she had to destroy all that. Then it becomes where we sit back and we had to, it was political parties began to sling mud about everything. You know, then we have a president who we had to impeach. He couldn't even be trusted. He was caught in scandals. Our superior leader, the one we're supposed to look up to as a commander-in-chief, caught. And then as time goes on, the commander-in-chiefs, all of them, would be caught doing something that was just wrong. We couldn't even trust our government. The Supreme Court that we set aside to stand and make the laws for us become corrupt. We couldn't even depend on them to make decent laws anymore. We began to kill the unborn. All in the name of pleasure. And people just turned a blind eye to this. But you know, do you know that, let me say this, did you know that blood has a language? I want you to stop and think about that for a minute. Blood has a language. In the Bible, when the Lord looked at Cain, he says, Cain, where is your brother Abel? He says, who am I? Am I my brother's keeper? He said, his blood calls out to me. His blood talked to God. It cried out to God. All of the ones that have been destroyed in this country through unwanted pregnancies, that blood has cried out to God. And just as God judged Cain, just as he judged his own people for offering their children up for sacrifices, and their blood cried out to him, and he punished those nations, we are no different. This blood cries out to God, and there is a recompense for it. Can I trust her that she'll make a wise decision for me? Can I trust her that she'll take care of me? You know, Solomon in the Bible, in talking about the virtuous woman, says his trust does safely, he safely trusts in her, talking about his wife. Can we trust our country anymore? I mean, guys, I want you to stop and think about something. 70 to 80% of all of our medication now comes from a foreign country. That's communist. They hate us, but yet they make our medicine. Oh, we can trust them to take care of our physical issues because they care about us. Oh, these people don't give a freak about us, and neither does our government, for allowing those people to make our medication in the first place. We've been sold out for the almighty dollar. Stop and think about it. Everything has been outsourced to another country. We do very little in this country for ourselves anymore. We became so relaxed and so confident. We're too big to fail. Who is the fool here? Everybody else gets rich off of our blessings. Can I trust her? If I have to go to the doctor, can I really trust the doctor? If I get a major disease, can I really trust that they'll take care of me? I can tell you, after living with a woman who battled cancer for 6 years, she and I battled it together, and all the research I've done, thousands and thousands of hours into research out of Japan, out of China, out of Canada, out of Mexico, out of the United States, and all the different things I looked into about cancer. And coming to the realization that no, they are not going to cure you. They are not going to heal you. They're going to put you on a treatment regimen that's going to run your body through literal hell before you actually pass some years down the road. I watched mine wither away for 6 years. I have absolutely no trust that she will take care of me. The new sickness that's sweeping the nation and the earth right now. Do I really believe that she will take care of me if this happens to me? And the answer is absolutely not. What do I think about this? I think it is a bioweapon. I believe it was man-made. I do believe there's an answer to it, and I believe there's an antidote to it, but I do not believe that they will give it out. I believe that it's a control issue. There's some warrant to the fact that it might be a population control, but more than that, every generation must have something that it has to fight in order to be able to keep the revenue rolling and keeping the people sick so that they depend upon her. Even though their best interest is not her best interest. She's only interested in the financial gain she can get from it. So do I really trust her anymore? No. I don't. And I never will, I doubt. I've seen too much in my life to believe that she would even take care of me. I went to file for my disability years and years and years ago. The doctors told me I would be disabled before I was very old because I was broken all to pieces when I was 17 years old and told that I probably would never be able to work or do anything very much. But I pulled out and I worked hard. Yes, I hurt on a daily basis. Yes, I have all kinds of physical issues. And I made it. I owned my own company for 26 years because I couldn't physically work for someone else and keep up with everybody else. But I could work for myself and make things happen at my pace and my speed. And I did a good job of it. But when the day come that I couldn't keep the pace up, and I filed for my disability, 3 times I tried. Every time I was told I was disabled. But every time I was denied. The first time I was told, you don't have a lawyer, you're representing yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. Get a lawyer. So I get a lawyer. The second time, the lawyer fights for me. No, he's not disabled. He can still do something. He may not physically be able to do what he's always done his whole life. The man read blueprints. The man did payroll. He can still do something. No, denied. I tried again. A different lawyer. I got all the way to the end. The judge looked at me and he says, sir, you are disabled. I will give you every bit of that. But I will not give you your disability. No explanation. I just won't give it to you. Do I trust her that she will take care of me after I paid in extra all those years thinking that someday I would be able to get my disability? No. That was ripped from me. Now I get out every day. I bust my tail here on a homestead to raise my own food, to raise my own animals, to build my own structures. I push myself beyond my limits just so I can say I'm still doing what I want to do. I do not depend on her. I do not want her to take care of me. It makes me angry to think that she took everything I paid in and told me I couldn't have it. And get this, I was even told, don't even apply again. Your disability is based on your last 40 quarters. Mr. King, if you started paying in right now, you haven't paid in the last 40 quarters. And I said, no, I've been fighting for my disability because I couldn't work. I've been doing without an income for years and years and years, just scrounging by. And he says, well, if you begin paying now, you don't have enough time to pay your 40 quarters in to be able to draw back what you need. He said, you'd be better off just to wait and try to draw your Social Security when it comes. And it's not going to be much. It's just only going to be a small amount because you haven't worked the last 2 years of your life. Do I trust her that she has my best interest at heart? No, I do not. I have zero trust. I am who I am. I will stand as long as I can stand. I will do as long as I can do. That is the attitude, that is the mentality that it takes to succeed at life. Because if you sit back and say, I believe she will take care of me, then you, my friend, are the one who will fall prey to every obstacle that she throws out there to trick you up. Learn to stand. Learn to be who you need to be. Take care of yourself, even if you're disabled. I'm disabled. I can't get out and fight and do what I used to do. But you know what? I get up every day. I make myself do stuff. I don't want to do this. I make myself do this. Because I don't have a choice. If I'm going to eat, if I'm going to have food, if I'm going to pay my bills, I have to make myself get up and go and do what I need to do. And all the money that I paid to be taken care of when I got to this point in my life has probably been sent to some foreign country somewhere for aid or something. I don't know. It's probably lined some politician's pocket. So he's sitting out on a yacht somewhere, or she's sitting out on a yacht somewhere, sipping margaritas or whatever they do when they're out there, living a promiscuous lifestyle off of what I paid in. Do I trust her? No. You may feel different. You may have a total different attitude than I do. And that's perfectly fine. Because that's your right. Do I believe when I hear a politician running for office that they have my best interest in mind? When they come out and they say, oh, well, if you'll do this or I'll do that, man, I'm for the people. I'm for the... Let me tell you something. I don't believe a single one of them. I could be wrong. There could be a good one out there. But let me tell you what a Dago told me one time. And if that phrase bothers you, I'm sorry. Because that's what he called himself. He told me, he said, Danny, politicians are like apples. They're good when you first put them in the basket. But if you leave them there too long, they all go bad. You need to change the apples every so often. And guys, we've got politicians that's been in office for many, 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 many years. They need to be changed. We've made the fatal mistake of letting them make our lives miserable for us while they live in luxury. Yes, this video may get me in trouble. I have fought this and I have fought this for so long. But I had to do it over here on Porch Time. I usually keep this kind of stuff over on Patreon. But today, I just feel it in my bones that we're right at a breaking point. The economy is about to collapse. The world economy. Watch the Dry Baltic Index. I talk about this over on Patreon, all these different things. Watch these things. When the shipping in the world slows down and comes to a halt, there's no goods moving. Guys, this sickness that's sweeping the earth is not about a sickness. It's about the control of the people. It's about forcing you to do things that you don't want to do. It's about changing things in your life that you don't want to change. But you won't have a choice because you're not self-sufficient. You have to go and you have to do. I talked about this on the live stream. We're so freaking deep in debt in this country that we don't have a choice. We've got to sacrifice our lives for the almighty dollar. Are we going to go over to blockchain currencies, bitcoins, and all that? More than likely, at some point, this will happen. And once that does, everything you do will be tracked. Your freedom will have ceased to exist financially. Everything you do will be on a ledger somewhere. It'll be part of an AI program that will monitor you down to the very red cent that you have. You will have no mad money, as many Americans call it. That will cease to exist because she doesn't care about you. Many of my friends have died protecting her so that their kids would have a better chance than they did. Some of us were fortunate enough we didn't die. We're still here. But my friends, there's a side of me that believes it's all been in vain. We were sold a bad bill of goods to believe that she had our best interest at heart. A lot of you are going to say, Danny, this has been one of the most negative videos I've ever seen you do. This ain't about negativity. This is about truth. It's time to get real. I've told you people all along as I've been doing Porch Time, that if there ever come a day that I thought was a time to get real, I would tell you, and I'm telling you today is the day to get real. We're in trouble, guys. We're not going to come out of this one. This is a big one. Everything has become too corrupt. And it makes me sad. I hate to have to do a video like this. I would rather do a very upbeat video and tell you how happy I am and how exciting things is going to be and how great things are going to be. I pray to the Most High that I'm wrong. But I don't believe I am. It's time to get real. It's time to prepare. It's time to get ready for the unknown, because it's knocking at our door. So can I trust her? For me, it's a no. What's your answer? Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about her. Let me see if I'm alone, or if there's others out there that feel the same way I feel. You know, she just tried to take away our only right way to be able to protect ourselves up in Virginia and other states. A little skirmish like that, just as a test run to see how the people would react. Let me tell you something, and I'm fixing to get off of here. When they look at the people in this country and tell you you can't leave your home because you've been quarantined, the people in this country are not used to being told no. People will still go. There will be uprisings. People will go crazy because they can't go. Revenue will be lost. Bills will not be paid. Yeah. We fell prey to her system. And now it's fixing to bite us in the butt. Sometimes I wonder, is she Mystery Babylon that is spoken of in the Bible? It's quite possible. Jeremiah says she's the hammer of the world. What does America do? We police the world. She says, I'm too big to fail. What does America say? We're too big to fail. We're America. What does it say happens? Her destruction comes in 1 hour. It says the merchants sit off the shores as they watch her burn, and they wail because of the loss of revenue and the loss of shipping and all these things. Could it be that we're Mystery Babylon? I do believe it's part nation and part system. Think about that. And we'll see y'all on the next Porch Time. Thank you from Deepsouth Homestead.